Here's an easy breakdown on the difference between zoom and prime lens. So to lay the foundation, zoom lens, as you can guess, you can zoom in and out of them. Like right now I have a 28-75 lens on my camera. That means I can go from 28 mil to 75 mil on just one lens. And then you have prime lens, where if it's at 35 millimeter, it is at 35 millimeter. If you want to zoom in or zoom out, you have to physically move forward or away from the subject. So then that raises the question, why is there a difference between these two? Well, each of them have their advantages. Zoom lens, it is just nice to have a zoom. I'm a type of person where I don't necessarily want to have to physically move back and forth to get a different shot. So being able to buy one lens that can cover multiple focal lengths is very, very nice, very, very helpful and convenient. And once you start upgrading again those nicer lenses, you're going to be shooting at an f2.8, which is very standard, solid for low light. Not the best, but definitely solid. Pay for one lens, you get multiple focal lengths. Now, when you move into primes, they are very unique and they have a lot of other advantages of their own. Now, giving up that zoom factor, you do get a sharper lens. Since prime lenses don't have all that extra tech on the inside, the glass and everything is usually higher quality and just works better because there's less going on. So you get that sharper image. Sometimes you even get faster autofocus. But probably the biggest advantage outside of the sharpness is that you can get these at lower f-stops than f2.8. So once you start getting into those primes, you can even get cheap 50 or 85 mil primes at f1.8. which in terms of low light, that's gonna get you a decent amount more. And that bokeh effect that's behind you, the lower that number is, the stronger that effect is, so that's nice as well. But once you start dipping into those really professional primes, that's when you start getting the f1.4, f1.2, and if you're one of those freaky boys, you might get like a f0.95. But also on the flip side of that, prime lenses are typically cheaper than zoom lens, just because there's less going on, even though you can get a nicer image. Hence why whenever Sony released their Sony 50-150 f2, it was a very, very big deal. Getting an f2 from 50 mil all the way to 150 off of one lens, as a Sony shooter, I feel like for most people, that is a dream lens. But if you have any other questions, make sure to ask those down in the comments and make sure to drop a follow for daily camera videos.